Greetings and welcome to Chant a Psalm a Day. Today's Psalm is 10, and I got to get ready for my ministry class. So we're going to get going with the Psalm. This is Psalm 10. Psalm 10 asks a question. Why do you hide yourself? And this is a question that the psalm is asking, and many people ask this, like, where's God? Oh my gosh, I'm in such turmoil. Where is God? So we're gonna unpack it. This psalm is, let's see, it's about 18 verses, but we're gonna unpack it because it's important to look at the world that we live in, and we are, among other people that may not, know the way we know. So we have to love everyone, regardless of if they don't believe God or whatever. So David, the psalm, is asking a question. Why, O Lord, do you stand far away? And David is, pleading about folks, because David was a king. David was out there in different wars and stuff like that, and so David was always asking, for God's protection. Always. He, even sometimes he doubted it. Like in this psalm is like, why do you hide yourself? Psalm 10. And it's asking that question. So in verse 1, why? It's a why. And we see a lot of things going on in the world today, and we ask why? Why is this happening? Why isn't God intervening in certain things? Why? Oh, let me turn this on. Excuse me. Why is why is children being molested? Why is there war? Why are people dying so fast? Like, why is this, so this psalm kind of echoes that in terms of asking a question. Why is these things going on, right? Why is there wickedness? There's jealousy, there's envy, there's, all these different things, trouble in the world. So verse 1 starts off with a question. Why, O Lord, do you stand far away? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? Okay. So David is asking that question. Then in verse 2, the question is, the reason for the question is expressed in verse 2, okay? In arrogance, and we look up what arrogance means. In arrogance, the wicked hotly pursue the poor. And the wicked hotly pursue the poor, and in arrogance. So the wicked is having or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. So it's interesting. It's speaking of the wicked in that way, that in this arrogance, the wicked feels that they basically, have this exaggerated sense of their own, abilities, and that they're more important than anybody else. So that's what arrogance is. And the wicked is in this arrogant way, hotly pursuing the poor. And the poor is lacking in things, right? The poor is lacking in the basic food, clothing, and shelter. And then we have our, mule, our 40 acres and a mule. So in verse 2, it speaks of to let the wicked be caught in the schemes that the wicked has devised. So whatever the wicked is devising, they're going to be caught up in it themselves. So you leave folks alone and let them be. Just speak to God on their behalf. That's it. You cannot take things into your own hands and become wicked like the wicked. So, the schemes that they have devised are caught in it, because of their arrogance. And when someone is arrogant, they exaggerate their own ability to do something. So for verse 3, it speaks of the actions. What is the wicked doing? Okay. In verse 3, it says, "For the wicked boasts of the desires of the wicked's life, and the one greedy for gain curses and renounces the Most High." Okay. So in verse 3, the wicked is boasting. They're boasting of their desires. It's about their own desires and what they want. And the one greedy for gain, the one who's greedy for, things, curses and renounces the Lord. So, oh my goodness, who would do such a thing, right? But people do these things, and they're not intentionally, but they do these things. And because we have a world of greedy, it's a greedy world, okay? And it's greedy for gain. It's greedy for things, to get things. So because the world is greedy, it results in this wicked boasting of, desires of wanting things for their life. So in verse 4, it speaks of, in the pride of his face, the wicked does not seek him. So who is him? Who is his? Let's unpack that. And pride is a sin. When folks say, "I'm proud of you," I don't want you to be proud of me. I want you to be blessed of me, that I share in that bless. Because pride is something that the wicked has. When somebody's too proudful to apologize, or someone has too much pride to do the right thing. So in the pride of the wicked's face, the wicked does not seek the Lord. So because the wicked is so full of pride, they're not communicating to the Most High. They're not calling on the Most High. They're not, chanting a psalm a day. They're not doing these things that is seeking for the Most High, like seek his face. One of the Psalms that I read yesterday was talking about that. Psalm 27, seek his face. So when you get up in the rise, you seek for the Most High, doing something in action that supports that. Whether it's, telling someone I love you, asking someone how they're feeling, how they rest. These are different actions that show that the Most High you're seeking for, because you are seeking for the Most High by showing kindness and being loving. We have so much war out there. We need to make love and not war. And making love is not just a sexual thing. It is an action of kindness. You're making love by making breakfast for someone, or you're making love by, rubbing someone's feet, or, involving someone in a decision, for example. So these are ways that we represent that Most High in our actions, right? So when we look at verse 4, we look at, in the pride of the Most High's, the wicked does not seek for the Most High. And what is the Most High? The Most High is love, kindness, mercy, honor, loyalty, integrity. All of that is the Most High. So we're not just seeking for an individual person. we're seeking for the attributes, okay? The attributes of that one, okay? That omnipotent one, that one who, is the Most High. So, in the pride of his face, the wicked does not seek the Most High. All the wicked's thoughts are, there is no God. There is no Jah. There is no Jesus. There is no Jehovah. There is no Selassie the First. There is no Negus Negas. There is no King and Queen, the Most High, the Almighty. That is what is in the thoughts of the wicked. That there is no Most High. There is no Allah. There is no Jehovah. There is no, God. So in verse 4, it's speaking of this is how the wicked is moving, that there is no accountability. You can do whatever and you're not accountable to nothing. You can go and steal, cheat, lie, kill, and do all this, and you're not accountable. Okay? Human beings can make you accountable, put you in jail, but guess who has the ultimate, judge and jury and executioner is the Most High. So this psalm kind of, it rubs me the wrong way because it's talking about the wicked and their behaviors, okay? So if you see some of these behaviors in folks or in people, don't take it up into your own hand to go slaughter folks and put them on the firing squad. Speak to God on their behalf. Okay? Communicate with the Most High. Communication is prayer. That's what prayer is, talking to the Most High. So instead of using that word, we're jumping right into what we're going to be doing. We're communicating with the Most High. That is what we do. So let's speak what we do and stop using these words that really, the evil one has crouched into the language to make us, down low. When we're supposed to be seeking for what is above, the wicked and the evil one, you got to stay low. They want you to stay low. So we're not about that. We're about seeking for what's above. So in verse 5, it talks about the wicked again, that the wicked ways prosper at all times. Okay, wait, no, his ways prosper at all times. Your judgments are on high out of his sight. As for all his foes, he puffs at them. So in verse 5, his is about the wicked prospering, right? However, the Most High judgments are on high. Just as I said, you got to seek for what is above. And the judgments are on high are out of the wicked sight. Okay? As for all the wicked foes, the wicked puffs at the foes. As for all his foes, he puffs at them. So who is his and who is he and who is them? See how confusing this can get? That's why we translate the psalm into words of liberation, because we need to know who is his ways prosper at all times. Your judgments are on high, and I know who your is because the Most High judgments are on high, out of his sight. And who is his? His is the wicked. The wicked doesn't see that because the wicked is down low. So how is the wicked gonna see the judgments on high? As for all his foes, he puffs at them. So in verse 6, it speaks of in his heart, the wicked is speaking, I shall not be moved. Throughout all generations, I shall not meet adversity. Okay? So this is what's in the wicked's heart, that they're not going to be moved. And, throughout all generations, they're not going to meet any problems. So in verse 7, it talks about his mouth is filled with cursing. And who is his? The wicked. The wicked's mouth is filled with cursing. Everything is a F this, F that. this, that, and the other. So the wicked's mouth is filled with cursing and deceit and oppression. What is deceit? Deceit is lies, untruths, right? Oppression is keeping someone down, you know, putting your foot on top of someone's neck, and you got them, you keeping them down by the things that you're doing. So that is oppression, and we have oppression in the world. We have oppression with people oppressing each other. It happens, right? So though that is wicked, the wicked's mouth is filled with cursing, deceit, and oppression, and under the wicked's tongue are mischief and inequity. Okay, inequity is evil or wrongness or, salacious actions. So that is what is under the wicked's tongue. What they speak about is mischief and messiness. So that, you got to check folks, because folks can speak things in this mischievous way, and be in that way with cursing, deceit, and oppression. Okay. In the words that we use today, we call it being messy. Being messy. Oops. Oh goodness, my. Okay, here we go. My wrap is sliding off. Okay. It's okay. Hallelujah. So when we look at Psalm 10 verse 8, I said I don't like this psalm that much because it's really talking about the wicked, but we have to know what we're dealing with out here. So in verse 8, it talks about he sits in ambush in the villages. Who is he? That's the wicked, right? In hiding places, he murders the innocent. The wicked's eyes stealthily watch for the helpless. This is verse 8 now. That the wicked sits in ambush, okay? That's why when you look at violent movies or anything violent that's on a device, you see murdering, you see folks hiding out in ambush, in hiding places, and just murdering the innocent. They may not think they're innocent, like, oh, I'm killing the bad guy. Okay. But in verse 8, it's talking about the wicked is sitting there in ambush like that, hiding to murder the innocent. And their eyes, check this out, the eyes of the wicked are stealthily watching for the helpless. And who's helpless but a prey? Prey, right? A prey is helpless, and the prey is going to be eaten by a predator for food. So when we look at this verse, it's kind of like, oh my goodness, this is what is going on out here in real life, for real. That ones are watching and looking at the helpless. And in verse 9, it says the wicked is lurking in ambush as a beast in a thicket, lurking that the wicked may seize the poor. I'm going to get that person. They're poor. I'm going to keep pounding them down in the ground and oppressing them. I'm going to take taxes out their check. They're going to pay taxes for this, pay taxes for that, pay that. You're steadily, beating the poor and needy down. And systems in the world do this. And people have learned to do this to other folks. Okay? I'm not talking about no one out there, so don't hang up or go off, feeling like I'm talking about you, because, I'm not. But who the cap fits, wear it, right? Who feels it knows it. So only a hit dog is going to holler in a crowd. So when you throw something out there, that person going to, you're going to know. So the wicked is being talked about in this psalm, like for real now. And in verse 9, the wicked is lurking in ambush as a beast in a thicket. Okay? That's the predator coming for the prey. That's why I don't use that word pray, y'all. I use the word, I'm going to speak to the Most High. I'm going to communicate to God. Don't pray for me. Talk to God on my behalf. Okay? Because I don't want to be a prey for a predator. So don't pray for me. That's a t-shirt. Don't pray for me. Talk to God for me on my behalf. So, because God is listening. God got ears, got eyes, got a nose to smell the fuckery, the filth that's out there. Yes, I said it. That's what it is. It is filth. And that's what Psalm 9 is talking about. That the wicked seizes the poor when the wicked draws the poor into the wicked's net. So there's a lot of nets, and I talk about this to young people coming up. There's traps out there. There's a net waiting to catch you, okay? But you have to be wise to know how to seek for the Most High, because that is going to be your ammunition in the days when the wicked is going to be in your face, lurking in ambush at you, right? You're going to be protected. As a fortress surrounding you, you're going to be protected. But how you going to be protected if you don't know the Most High? If you haven't built a relationship with that one, right? So in verse 10, it talks about the helpless. The helpless are crushed. The helpless are squished down, and they fall by the wicked's might. Okay? Because it's crushing the helpless. So that's why I give to the poor and needy. That's why I'm generous in my giving. And there's going to come a point where I'm going to have such an abundance. I'm going to give more than one person. I'm going to give 2, 3, 4, 5 folks. Okay? And I don't want anything in return. When I give from my heart, and to help the poor and needy. Okay, that's what I do. So in this psalm, we see in verse 10, Psalm 10, verse 10, the helpless are crushed. Okay, they're getting pushed down, and they fall by the might of the wicked. So in verse 11 now, the wicked says in the wicked's heart, God has forgotten. God has hidden God's face, and I will never see it. So in verse 11, this is what the wicked is talking about, that the God has forgotten and has hidden God's face, and it's never going to be, I'm never going to see it. So this is what the wicked is talking about. And that's why you hear some folks say you have to be separate from the body to be with God. You have to be separate from your weakness of the flesh. That doesn't mean you have to die and leave the earth to see God. That's the lie that was perpetuated in enslavement of Africans. Work, work, work. And then when you finish working for me, you're going to die and go to your God in heaven. No. You can see God right now, and that's a wicked thing that is in the wicked's heart, that the Most High has forgotten and has hidden his face. So in verse 12, arise, O Most High, O the Almighty, lift up your hand, forget not the afflicted. So in verse 12 now, we set the scene with the wicked, talking about the wicked. And now in verse 12, we're talking about the Most High arising and lifting up a hand and not forgetting those who are afflicted. Okay? And in verse 13, why does the wicked renounce God and say in the wicked's heart, that God will not call to account. Why are they doing that? Because they don't believe that there's a Most High. They have to stay low. And in verse 14, however, the Most High does see, for the Most High note the mischief and vexation, that the Most High may take it into the Most High hands to one's, the helpless commits oneself, and one have been the helper of the fatherless. So the helper of the fatherless, the helper of the fatherless is the Most High. And in verse 14, we see that the Most High does see, but you do see, for you, the Most High will note mischief and vexation, that you may take it into your hands. So we're not taking it into our hands and going and doing something to these wicked folks. Okay, we're leaving it to the Most High, because the Most High is going to take it into the Most High hands, and to the Most High the helpless commits themselves. So those who are helpless, commit yourself to the Most High. Do not go into wickedness. The Most High has been the helper of the fatherless, those who don't have fathers on this earth. That's why it's written, don't call any man father on this earth, because you have an almighty Father. So this is who is going to be helped, the fatherless, okay? The orphans, the children who don't have fathers or mothers. So verse 15, break the arm of the wicked and evildoer. So the arm of the wicked is not just that physical arm. It is all this ammunition that the wicked is bringing. Okay? Mischief, vexation, all of this, murdering, violence, oppression, deceit. This is all that the wicked is bringing. And that's going to be broken. The Most High is breaking that of the wicked and the evildoer, calling the wickedness to account till the Most High find none. So the arms, all of this stuff that the wicked is coming with and the evildoer is coming with, guess what? The call, the wicked and evildoer wickedness is to account for until the Most High find none. So in verse 16, 17, and 18, as we end the psalm, is speaking of the Lord is king forever and ever. The nations perish from his land. Okay? The Lord, the Most High, is Negus. That's what Negus means. It means king. Is Negus for all time to come. Is Negus and Negas, king and queen. And the nations are going to perish from that space of the Most High, because the nations are wicked. There's wickedness going on among the nations. So they're not going to be in that land of happiness and free, to love and be kind. In verse 17 now, O Lord, you hear the desire of the afflicted. You will strengthen their heart. You will incline your ear. Verse 18, to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, so that man who is of the earth may strike terror no more. Okay, period. I love how that psalm ends, because it is talking about the Most High listening to our words that we speak, listening to our communication and our desires of our afflictions. And the Most High will strengthen I and I hearts, okay, to do the right thing, and will listen with the Most High's ears to our plea for justice, because the justice is going to happen to the fatherless and the oppressed, okay? That's where justice, the Most High is going to do justice for the fatherless and the oppressed, so that human beings who is of the earth, who are wicked, may strike terror no more. Period. Okay, so this psalm is an awakening of what is in our future and how that future is going to be really bright when we are seeking for the Most High, right? When we are doing the opposite of the wicked. The wicked is cursing and renouncing the Lord. We are going to adulate and adore the Most High and chant songs of love and liberation, right? That is what we are to do. So when I look at this psalm, I really didn't like it going in, but then it's like, okay, it ends with, this is what is going to happen. That, there is going to be this king and queen forever, and the nations are going to perish from that space because the nations are wicked. And the Most High is going to listen to the desire of the afflicted and will strengthen the afflicted's heart, okay? And will incline an ear to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, so that the wicked man or woman or child is of the earth may strike terror no more. Okay, so Selah and Selah again. I end the psalm with asking that my words and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of the Most High. That is the ultimate acceptance that I seek. Other folks may not accept it because it's too close to them, because they may see, wait a minute, I'm actually doing these things that the wicked is doing. I'm oppressing my friend by taking and doing that. So, we have to really be aware of our actions and how we treat other people and how we live among other people and how we work among other people and how we love among other people. Okay, because this is what the wicked is doing. They're waiting and watching for the helpless, that they may seize the poor and take all that they have, and seizing the poor and drawing them into this net of death, both financial, physical, and the helpless are crushed. They're pushed down. That's what oppression means. It means you're pushing someone down, and it's not good. It's really not good to have that happening. So the word of the day is fascination. Fascination. Okay, fascination. When we look up that word, it is let me see. Fascinate is to draw irresistibly the attention and interest of someone. So you're interested, you're just interested, and you're drawing this irresistible attention that you can't resist on this, whatever it is. So in the word of the day, fascination is talking about righteous living fascinates me, or righteous living draws my attention and interests. That interests me. That righteous living interests me. So that's what fascination is. So let's get into this word of the day from dailyword.com. Over the years, I have grown so much, this is true, from I's righteous practices. I have felt close to God as I have spoken to God, deepened in knowledge and awareness as I have learned and grown in an assurity as I discovered I and I divinity. I translated some words. Confidence, I don't use. Understanding, I don't use. Prayed, I don't use. So I have felt close to God as I have spoken to God, communicated with God, deepened in the knowledge as I have learned and grown in the assurity as I discovered I and I divinity. It even rhymes when I translate it. See that? I fascinated with righteous discovery. I realize there will always be more to learn, more to ways to grow, and more ways to know the Most High and know I and I self. The more I know, the more I desire to know. My interest in and love for God is without limit. My fascination with righteous life and living, eating the right foods, having the right music, having the right energies in your home, that is righteous living that will keep on keeping on to lead I and I along I and I path of discovery and devotion for as long as I live. I am grateful as I deepen in I and I relationship with God, with Jah, with the Most High, with that one. So I am thankful as I go ahead and deepen my relationship with the Most High. So that is what this is about. This is not about putting someone down. This is not about talking about folks and the wrongs that have been done to me by folks. And it has been. It's not about that. It's about the relationship that I am building with the Most High. And I have people around me. I have family, I have friends that have hurt me, that have taken from me and just been this way. So I have to build strength in my heart because that is important to keep from attacking someone or putting someone up on the firing squad because they did you wrong. I put them at the foot of the cross and leave them there so that they may get that healing. Because if somebody did you something that wasn't right, or that it was a selfish act that they've done, they need healing. They don't need attacked. And it takes a strong person to do that. And that's why it's talking about in verse 17, Psalm 10, "O Lord, you hear the desire of the afflicted, and you, Most High Lord, will strengthen their heart." So because I'm afflicted, because I have, suffered hurt, I am going to be strengthened. My heart is going to be strengthened so I don't hate folks. My heart is going to be strengthened so I keep loving in there, right? And that strengthening of my heart, the Most High is going to incline an ear to do justice for on my behalf, okay? So that folks who is on the earth oppressing folks may not do that anymore. It's stopping. It's coming. It's over. Okay? So this is how I deepen my relationship with the Most High. So this word of the day is powerful. A fascination with doing good. A fascination with love. A fascination with mercy and kindness. A fascination with that. Not our own understandings, our own feelings of, somebody did this, I'm going to do it back. No, we have to leave things to the Most High. So in this word of the day, fascination, Ecclesiastes is mentioned. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 14. "Whatever God does endures forever. Nothing can be added to it, nor anything taken from it. God has done this so that all should stand in awe before God. So we take out the pronouns him, it, whatever the Most High does endures for all time, and nothing can be added to what the Most High does, nor anything taken from what the Most High does. The Most High has done this so that all should stand in awe before the Most High. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 14. Selah and Selah again. Selah and Selah again. Here ends the word of the day. Fascination. Fascination. I have a fascination with righteousness and love and kindness, patience. So, the verse of the day is coming from Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. Therefore, as God's chosen people, Isla and dearly beloved and dearly loved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Okay? Clothe yourself with these things. This is from Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. And it's the same thing that's echoed in the word today, fascination. Have a fascination with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Have a fascination with that, right? And in the verse of the day, Colossians, is talking about clothing yourself with that, keeping that on you no matter what. Okay, look at my, here it's coming up. Keeping that on you no matter what. So, as the Most High's chosen folks, okay, some are called and few are chosen. So the few that are chosen, they are happy. Isla, they are happy, they're dearly loved, and they're clothed with all of these attributes of compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. So that ends the verse of the day. That ends the verse of the day. And that is from Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. Dive deeper into Colossians, okay? And instead of holy, use the word happy or Isla or, feeling good, Irie. That is what that word represents. Okay? Hole has holes in it that stuff can pass through. We want to keep all of this righteousness in a bucket without a hole. So we don't lose it, but we use it. We use that righteousness through compassion, through kindness, through humility, through gentleness, through patience. This is how we use that righteousness. And we use it in how we treat folks, how we treat other people. Okay? Don't be unkind to folks that are kind to you. Don't use people. Don't take advantage of folks. Love each other. Be kind to each other. Okay? Value each other. Each of us are valuable to the Most High. So why shouldn't we not value each other? We have to do that. We have to, in relationships, we have to do that. We have to value one another. So as we end the psalm, I'm going to outro with Chant a Psalm a day. Have a blessed day, everybody. Chant a Psalm a day. Chant a Psalm a day. Chant a Psalm a day. Chant a Psalm a day.